Playland Tower at Disney's Contemporary Resort.
Conductor like me, there's no better place to ride the rails than the Magic Kingdom. By the way, we're traveling on pure steam power. This old locomotive is descended from the mighty trains that powered the golden age of steam. And just like me, it's a little old-fashioned. Now, where else can you travel from the charm of Main Street, USA to the untamed jungles of Africa, Asia, and South America? At the Magic Kingdom, anything is possible, and we're headed straight to the heart of Adventureland. It can get pretty wild in these parts, especially if you run into Captain Jack Sparrow. He's hiding out among those scurrilous pirates of the Caribbean. But whether you're boarding a boat for the Jungle Cruise or flying on Aladdin's magic carpets, when you visit Adventureland, bring an extra dose of bravery. As for me, I'll stay safe and sound right here aboard my train, if you don't mind. We've reached the wild west of the Magic Kingdom, Frontierland. This outpost is home to covered wagons, cowpokes, and country bears. And we've got our own mountain range of exciting adventures. You might catch a runaway mine train at Big Thunder Mountain, or hop on over to Splash Mountain and join Brer Rabbit for a 50-foot drop straight down into the Briar Patch. We've reached Frontierland Station, everyone, so sit tight until we've come to a complete stop. If you're disembarking here, please carry your strollers all the way off the platform before you unfold them. That'll help make room for the new passengers joining us. Watch your step now. This is Frontierland Station.
All right, everyone, please remain fully seated until the train has come to a full and complete stop and has given you an all clear. This is your stop for Splash Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, Liberty Square, and Adventureland. Once again, folks, please remain seated. All clear. Welcome to Frontierland, everyone. If you're staying on board, our next stop is Fantasyland Station.
USA. Everybody stay seated. Keep your hands and arms, feet, and legs safely inside the train. And as always, keep an eye on your little ones.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
As we head into the American wilderness, we pass by the dusty desert town of Monorail. The town of trains from Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. We'll know the trains. I asked him, is that any way to run a railroad? I feel right at home here in the prairies and forests of the American wilderness. These woods haven't changed much since the days when settlers started heading west. Nowadays, the rails can carry us safely through the wild, and a trip that used to take months can now be made in just a few weeks. There's plenty of deer, antelope, and elk that feed along the bank of the river. And naturally, plenty of early settlers decided to put down stakes and live here too. Of course, those early settlers weren't the first to make their home in this wild frontier. These native tribes of Plains Indians were living, hunting, and trading for centuries before we ever came along. They were the first to tame the wild horses of the American plains, long before our big old iron horses started chugging through these parts. Looks like we're almost out of the woods, folks, and we're coming to the outskirts of Fantasyland, a place where any dream can come true. Here you can fly with Peter Pan or take a spin in a teacup. Walt Disney always believed that no Magic Kingdom would ever be complete as long as there was imagination left in the world. But with that spirit in mind, these folks are dreaming up a whole new Fantasyland. They're hard at work making future dreams come true. Someday soon, you'll be able to take a trip under the sea with the Little Mermaid, or be our guest for an enchanted feast inside the Beast's castle. But for now, it sure is exciting to think about all the fun that lies ahead. You been riding trains as long as this old-timer, you may remember the days when the circus would come to town on the local railway. Well, the circus is here, and it's set up permanent headquarters as the Fantasyland Storybook Circus. This is the place to fly high with Dumbo, or join Goofy on the Barnstormer, a rollicking ride of circus acrobatics and coaster thrills. This station is also your gateway to the rest of Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. Now, please wait until the train has come to a complete stop. Gather your belongings and carry your strollers away from the platform before you start unfolding them. That way we can start loading up for the next leg of our trip. For those of you disembarking, please watch your step. And thanks for traveling with us on the Walt Disney World Railroad. Join us again real soon. If you're staying aboard, our next stop is Main Street Station.
All right, everyone, please remain fully seated until the train has come to a full and complete stop and has given you an all clear. Please remain seated, folks. All clear.
Stay seated and keep your hands and arms, feet and legs inside the train at all times. And please keep an eye on your children.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
There are some who say that this steam train is a little old-fashioned, but for me, it's the only way to travel. Of course, there are those who prefer to hit the highway. And on the right, you just might spot some pint-sized drivers taking their first spin behind the wheel of a car. Getting from place to place is a big deal in Tomorrowland, where you might board a people mover, zip around on the Astro Orbiter, or book a flight across the galaxy at our busy starport in Space Mountain. Tomorrowland is truly a world on the move. Speaking of moving, it seems like a whole lot of new neighbors have been migrating in from all corners of the Milky Way. There's that rascally Experiment 626, better known as Stitch, always up to his usual antics. We've made a complete trip around the Magic Kingdom. For those of you who've been on board for the whole journey, thanks for putting up with me the past few days. If you're staying with us, we'll be headed for Frontierland next. Right now, please stay seated until our train comes to a complete stop. Then pick up your belongings and carefully step off the train. If you have strollers to unfold, please take them all the way beyond the platform so we can safely board passengers for the next leg of our journey. This is Main Street Station, Main Street, USA.
All right, folks, as we approach our Main Street Station, please remain seated until the train is come to a full and complete stop at our station. I'll let you know when it's good time by giving you the all clear. Until you hear that all clear, please remain seated. Once again, we're not quite past our station. Please remain seated, folks. All clear. Welcome.
many of the exciting places you'll want to be sure to enjoy today while visiting this land of tomorrow. The People Mover is the perfect vehicle for people watching, so keep your eyes peeled. You never know who you might see. Coming up, Stitch's Great Escape, where you can report for duty as a security agent for the Galactic Federation. Your mission is to keep Experiment 626, the biggest little mischief maker in the galaxy, under control. And now, Tomorrowland Transit Authority proudly presents Progress City, Walt Disney's dream for an experimental prototype community of tomorrow. Progress City was the inspiration for Epcot. Many of its forward-thinking ideas have been realized throughout Walt Disney. If your future includes shopping, then you'll want to visit Mickey Stock Traders, where you'll find the greatest goods from around the galaxy.
That's right. It's out of this world.
Put the pedal to the metal and speed towards the checkered flag in your very own race car. Young or old, this is your chance to drive in the fast lane without worrying about getting a speeding ticket. We're now entering one of the real wonders of our world, Space Mountain. Blast off on a high-speed outer space adventure and cruise through the cosmos.
Paging Mr. Morrow, Mr. Tom Morrow. Please contact Mr. Johnson in the control tower to confirm your flight to the moon.
remain seated. This ride has stopped temporarily and will resume at any time. Please remain seated for your own safety. Thank you.
Spacecraft as you take a spin around the planet and ascend to otherworldly heights. We're now approaching Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress. Inside this rotating theater, four families welcome you into their homes of yesterday and today, starting way back at the turn of the 20th century. First presented at the New York World's Fair, this legendary circular theater celebrates the progress that has made our lives better. It's a perfect reminder that there's always a great, big, beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day. As an honorary space ranger, you'll use your own personal laser cannon to save the entire galaxy. And all his pals at Monsters Incorporated laugh for him. Share the fun. It's been a pleasure to have you aboard. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.